Okay, and we're back. So, for those of you who watched my previous video, I just teed up this money tokens and games, this report from Citi's 10th Digital Money Symposium, blockchain's next billion users and trillions in value. We covered 8 trillion in trade finance in 2022, and 80% of global trade falls under English law. It's governed by English law. This was per the US Department of Commerce International Trade Administration. So we left off where we took a brief recap and overview over the players and documents involved in traditional end-to-end trade finance. So it's why is this important? We get a sense of all of the different documents, the things that are required for shipments to go through customs, things that are required by banks, the importers, the exporters, and the amount of paperwork and documentation that goes through this step-by-step process from when something is ordered and sent out, packaged by the supplier, shipped out through a logistics company like FedEx. So FedEx already has some tools, electronic trade documents, to help make this process simpler for customers wanting to ship internationally. But we're looking at this from a blockchain perspective as well. So let's kind of dive into this. Emerging technologies, including AI, blockchain, and others, have the potential to transform global trade and supply chains by reducing the high intermediation costs and frauds, duplication of efforts, and international asymmetries. So, they say that these new technologies are promising a lot. So, our job and goal is to see, are they right, and just learn about this entire process. Okay, let's kind of make our ways through. So the inefficiencies in trade finance. So there's the old and the new, the old paradigm and the new. Trade finance remains highly paper based and is one of the least digitized parts of the global financial system. So that offers a challenge. So before digital assets adoption, you need digitization, but the trade ecosystem is very paper based. So that just tells us that, and I'm sure those of you who are shipping internationally deal with this a lot, things getting held up in customs, and some of that, things being held up in customs is due to the paperwork, and things outside of your control. So the digitization, making things more electronic, has the potential to take away some of these inefficiencies in trade finance. So let's go through some of these points here. Authenticity, access to documentation. These are some of the challenges. So 20 documents printed out at varying stages of the supply chain process, as we looked at in the first figure. Legal and regulatory landscape. So depending on the physical possession, transfer, and delivery of the different areas that you're in. So the good thing is we looked at 80% of global trade finance falls under English common law. So another challenge could be the closed loop blockchain network. So I'm sure different players have been making efforts to digitize this entire process, coming out with their own private blockchains. But the need of chains, including suppliers, logistic partners, banks, and financiers. So if they're closed loop blockchains, that means the suppliers, logistics partners, say like a FedEx, UPS, banks and the financiers wouldn't have access. So, other challenges in the bottom left are interoperability and lack of standards. So, no common standards stops data flow between the supply chain. And, like we talked about, the old and the new. Before adoption, we need to digitize this entire ecosystem. The trade ecosystem is very paper based, for better or worse. I'm sure there are trade offs with anything as far as that comes. And also, lastly, we'll look at legacy systems and manual and operational. So they'll be not able to substantially transform this trade finance industry just due to the manual nature of this and the operations of how this is set up. So just a brief overview of what this city symposium highlights as challenges in trade finance and blockchain, and just general challenges to trade finance, for suppliers, financiers, logistics companies, importers and exporters, and as well as that whole process through customs. So just a quick snapshot there. Check out some more of my videos, and hit me up. We'll definitely love to talk more about this with people.